I'd like to thank Rabbi Yosef Yafi, even though he's not here. I want to thank Chol HaLoshen, Kavish Kol Chaprotis. Now, I had my latest Meifsim. Do you know it was raining the other night? It was raining all night, right? So what did I do? I left, I left the car door, the windows wide open on both sides, and have stacks of Bטחון weeklies that, you know, the box is right next to the window. And the other window has my hat. And then I come in the morning, what happened here? I come in, not one, Bachlal wasn't ruined. Nothing. And the windows were wide open completely. All night it was raining. And the windows of my car, the two back windows, where I had a big box of Bטחון Weekly, was hugging the window. It was right there. And my hat was on the other side, right under the window. And nothing happened, nothing. It was dry, it's like that it didn't rain. That's another riot, what my greatness. If anybody has doubts what a great person I am, how do you like that story? Murdik. Nothing got, it was dry as could be. Nothing happened. It's not the first time I had these things. Between you and me, don't tell anybody. I have plenty of that stuff. A tzaddik like me? What are you talking? Here comes another one. I am having such tzaddis with my Bטחון weeklies. It's not normal. The machine breaks down every month. Just when everything's all set, boom. And just all different weird things keep happening. With every time I have aggravation. I don't believe in aggravation. I laugh it off. But I have a lot of laughing to do. It's not normal how many things are always going wrong with life. Every time I go, the only thing that doesn't go wrong is money. Money is a joke. I still didn't, as of today, I'm starting to take money for other stuff. For the first time, I'm always owe like a few hundred, 1,000, that's fine. Right now, the last count was for this week, 300, and I was given 200 in my pocket already. I mean, I'm paid up. I'm come out not davening, you know, just money is one of the issues that I have no problem with. And I need $2,000 a week. One for they want me to pay for that, and for this, you know, my stuff, and whatever, the other one, you know, the two kinds, the big ones. I need $1,000 for each. I think much more than that. Much more, because they send it out to, they have people giving it out that want money. I forgot it. They have a whole bunch of stuff going on. They need extra money. I don't know what it is. It's at least 2,000, maybe 3,000. I never knocked at one door. I never asked one single person for years. I don't collect for that. Money is the only thing that I have no trouble with. But everything else, the machine, I walked into BP Graphics, the machine went berserk. Once, I don't go to them usually. This didn't come out. This one, I lost that one. This one came out no good. Oh, they got this one. Oh, and so it's always mix-ups and mix-ups and mix-ups. I mixed up, he mixed up, they mixed up. I have a few people working with me. Every one of them is B'li'ayin hara, gives you a run for the money. It's ridiculous. What's the shot? Finally, I said, I'm getting to the bottom of it. I'm going to ask the Eibishter. Eibishter, tell me what I'm doing wrong. And you can let me know. That night, I have a book of Rabban Kotler, the stories of Rabban Kotler. My friend Rabbi Dershowitz Zeichet Tzadik Brocha put it out. It's a sefer. It's Reb Chaim Epstein. Everybody said great things about it. Anyway, I open up, boom, The first page, I just happened to, I haven't been looking at it for who knows how long. Just that day, something went into my head. I want to see that. I just noticed it in my bookshelf, took it out, took a peek. And that page, it said like this. Rabban Cutler used to go around collecting. And he had worse sorrows than me. Or it's close. And he was, the way they kept him waiting, he once went to Chicago, somewhere, Cleveland, to collect, and they kept him waiting like he's a nobody. And then they made him go through their warehouse, and a secretary gave him like $36, like, you know. And he made a special trip, and they treated him like the Gadol. And he was asked by someone asked him, how do you do this? I mean, it's not right. It's covered up Torah. Why don't you, work it out? You shouldn't have to have these problems. You know what he said? He said, this is the way it works. And if it doesn't work, all crazy and things aren't moving, then you got to watch out. Might be something wrong. I saw that night that I asked for Abish to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Why is things always going wrong? I was thinking, how am I going to work on this? That the machine's always going crazy. And when I go to BP Graphics, then BP Graphics breaks. If I go to him, his breaks. I'll go to him, then he couldn't make it. He couldn't do this. All things always equal from all sides. Everything's always going wrong. And that night, I got my answer, the Abish to answer my question. Now I want to tell you another zach. There are certain people, that are tough cases. Most of my cases, although they come to me when things are really bad, they run to me. But Baruch Hashem, I'm able to help. Sometimes a certain younger man's coming to me for years. He gets mileage with me, or else he wouldn't come back. Things are always improving, a little here, a little there, but there are new things and worse things. His kids and his wife and his this and himself and his sicknesses and he's got all different issues. This guy calls me up, I know, and there's a built-in reason why. Whatever, I don't want to go into it. There's something that I always suspect, guess where it's coming from. This guy comes over to me, tells me he had 3 boys, triplets, and they were born 22 years ago. And when they were born, he got brachas from every gadol he knew that when they get married, there shouldn't be any issues with who's getting married first. Because we're And he said, sure enough, there's so many issues. This one's married with kids. The other one's still going with sugar. Exactly what. So I didn't want to tell him. What are you asking for trouble for? From day one, you're asking for it. Why did you go ahead and need brachas when they were born? You're afraid of this. The fear is the problem. Be a tamim, of course it'll be all right. Don't get involved, maybe this, maybe that. It's a true zach. You're not supposed to be afraid. Anyway, getting back to, there are certain people, that's right. There's certain people, there's certain people that invite you are the author of your condition. You're going to go around all your life like a basket case, always worried that I did this. Now look, if you're aware of it and you can't help it, then it's just fine. Don't worry about it. But if you can do something about it, you really have to try to get rid of that mode and relax and stop worrying so much. Am I going to be matzliach? Am I going to be matzliach? I tell people, I see in your face that you have a good mazel, and your whole life is going to be a roses. You don't know. I'm tough. I'm powerful. And while I talk, they think I'm a Navi. I'm not going to reveal the truth about my greatness in public. I mean, yeah, I'm a big honor, if you realize. So I'm not going to tell anybody the truth of how I know everything. But even when I don't know, usually, I say with such conviction, I know I have Ruach HaKodesh. It's one of my favorite things. My greatness is that I have Ruach HaKodesh. It's one of my big accomplishments in life. I do that, and they believe me. They believe me, and they have nisim galuyim. I'm very tough. No, from now on, you have a good mazel. Now, this fellow has been on my case for at least 5 years. And he goes through so much Gehenna. Until one day I told him, no more. I had enough. You suffered. It's all your peklach have disappeared right now. I told him, Rosh Chodesh El. He calls me up. It was on the phone 2 days ago. He called me up. He said, since Rosh Chodesh El, he never sounded like this. Everything's turning around. Everything. The kid behaved. I'm behaved. This babe. I had a refuah. I had a this. I had a that. The guys are less nervous. My wife is behaving. And this guy gets along with that. The whole house turned around. And what's special about this story that you didn't hear before? Because this story, I wasn't getting anywhere. They kept calling. He's on my case. Getting, patchwork, Okay, next problem. He's always getting, but this. So I learned from this story that never give up. Let them come to you again. Oh, it didn't work the first time? Here comes another bracha. Now it's going to work. I just had a guy, whatever. He tried one of my shtick. It didn't work. He did it again. It worked. L'chaim. I'm going to start drinking beer. I don't know, this stuff is getting on me. Besides, the Russians are busy killing each other. Or get some, England has beer. In England, in America, you get coffee in the morning. In England, you know what they give you? A thing like this of beer. Am I right? Who knows the rules? About a big thing, you better have a big one. Or else you're not yotze. So you drink beer. L'chaim, yeshuos. So England, they have beer. I was once in France. It was at nighttime. And the yeshiva car was passing by on one of these semi-highways. It was getting into town, but it was a wide street. And we're waiting for a red light. And there a couple of Frenchies walk outside the car at nighttime. Walk in the middle of the, and they're going like, Adla. Their mamish, all Adla. I saw this myself. Adla in France, did you have your wine in the morning? Parlez-vous français? Did you have wine or else you're not yotze? How can you go to work without wine? You know what the Russians, when they went to battle, everyone, they took along vodka. Now, which Russian isn't full of vodka? They're all vodka. That's life. They love vodka. They hold from vodka. They hold from it. I've heard Russians say it's pure. It's pure garbage. It's pure. You ever see? They have these certain. They're selling a synthetic drug or something. It's pure. You ever see that? You can say pure in anything you want. This is pure. It's pure. It's natural garbage. It's pure. It's a pure orange. Why shouldn't it be? It's pure. Let's call it pure. Come and skip tzara, machzeremish. Pure, everything pure. Kodesh v'tar. So so I saw them. So they buy them vodka. When they went to battle, they had a bottle. A Russian without I told you my vote about the Russians. There is no major transaction made in Russia, any meeting, anything, without vodka. And then you shake hands over a vodka. Without vodka, it's not chal. You must have vodka, or else it's not where it doesn't. It's not lamaisa. So I have a pirush why. So then when you lie through your teeth after you zog to, you promised whatever you did, and then when it comes lamaisa, you're gonna go back aseris bainim. I mean, these guys don't tell the truth. They have no shaykhs with the truth. They don't chop what it means. What's the truth? There's a certain culture, I'll tell you where it is. It's in Iraq. Iraqis have such sheker that if they ask you, I heard this from an Iraqi, if they ask you, what's for supper? So if it's spaghetti, they'll say Spanish rice. Why? Because you're not supposed to say the normal thing. Say something different. Say something crazy. So nobody knows if they're coming or going. Over there, it's all sheker. It's chil. I'm serious. That's the Iraqi mentality. Now, Esav, he was the biggest chakra in the universe. Esav is Russia. The Mashkiach told me they're nothing. So the reason why every move they make, when they make agreements, they drink vodka. You know why? So then when they go back on what the word, they'll say, it was the vodka. What do you want from me? Blame it up. You blame it on the vodka. But when they go to war, the soldiers, the Russian soldiers, used to take extra vodka too. So you had to take vodka. You don't go to battle. It's a stress that you can't handle. Going to battle is a joke. You take vodka, it's angry. Rabbi Kotler had, this is what they say, someone took care of him, and his lady is, I don't understand it, but I heard it from one of the Chashvet Talmidim. There's a Scandinavian guy, that Rabbi Zilvaya, he cried like a baby. He loved Rabbi, a guy. And they once found something, some liver fell in East, there was a kashrus thing going on, and he knew already. You got to check that out. A shake, it's a Scandinavian shikha. You got to check, and sure enough, they found the whole year a day. So I don't know, you hang around Rabbi, don't ask me how, but he was, so once they say the Scandinavian shikha, Rabbi Zilvaya was crying like a baby. Rabbi, he saw who Rabbi was. Anyway, so he once fell down a flight of stairs, a big flight, not stam, and all his bones were broken. And they rushed him to the hospital, and they say he didn't feel a thing because his blood was full of alcohol, and the alcohol took care. You didn't need it told you he didn't feel a thing. His bones were broken all over his body. He didn't feel a thing because Baruch Hashem. So alcohol is a big thing. But I'm thinking of changing to beer. I think beer is more on my alley. This vodka is getting on my nerves lately. Not vodka. Johnny Walker, Red Label. All right, the name, you can't make away with the name. All right, Johnny Walker. Anyway, so let's get back to where we're up to. The nisim that people have throughout their lives. How many times you could, my pen, how many times my pen didn't work. I daven, it's working. Yeah, I can't imagine. You live with the Yevishter. The main thing is a person who's Vaiteach is in a different world. He's in a different world, mamish. You can't imagine. Now I'm going to make a diuk. I'm going to be nasty now. Terrible diuk. Everybody ready? On your mark, get set, Mendel starting up again. They're becoming controversial. By the way, probably the biggest Rav in Gans Lakewood, or one of the biggest. I heard Bishmai. I come out Zichi, he said it, but since I didn't mamish hear it, I won't mention his name. But the Vod's a gold mine, no matter who said it. He said every time you say the word Elul, it's a kapara for all your averis. Who heard? You heard it? You know who it was? I'll say the name when I verify that Titaka said it. But I'm not in the spell. I'm saying if he didn't say it, I'll say it. Every time you say the word Elul, you lost. You know what Balatanya said? Hashem, thinking about Hashem, Hashem HaKudosh. Said today, if you have the smallest rutzing for Shuva, you didn't even just thought of doing it, boom, you lost all your sins right there. Balatanya, you know. And his time, they now, everyone thinks it's our dar. You want to hear the Meiri? I was learning Gemara Meiri in Pez Zayin Amud Aleph. The Gemara says, why do you blow the shofar, Rosh Hashanah? Why do you blow it? The reason why you blow the shofar, Rosh Hashanah, is to remember Akedas Yitzchak. And if you blow that shofar, Rosh Hashanah, says the Gemara, Malia, I'll make it as if you made Akedas Yitzchak. Did you hear what's going on? We all did Akedas. You ready to do that? Are you ready to give away? I'm not so sure. I don't know. But you just, what's up shot of the Gemara? You know what the Meiri says? Full of a fella. Meiri says, when you talk about, when you blow your shofar, a zeicha for Akedas Yitzchak, you're remembering how much love a person has to have. And you realize the need to be like that. And therefore, it's machshava kemaisa. Done deal. Did you hear that? I learned in Lakewood. I've been learning here for the last 50 years. And I walk around, I never opened a sefer in Lakewood. Never. I walk around all day admiring. I see the need for, there's a shas in that corner. This guy just finished Tyrus. I see the need for Tyrus. According to the Meiri, I finished Tyrus. Look at the Meiri. He doesn't say, you're planning on doing it. No. He said the fact that you admire it and you see the need of it, machshava kamaisa, you did it. We all did Akedas Yitzchak. Do you know what's going on? No wonder we're sure we made it. Somebody, I see one of the questions coming up, how can you be sure you're going to make it? You stop believing in these things. Hashem loves you. I'm going to tell you about the Gebod. This guy is working in an office. And the boss is trigger happy. The boss always fires. By him, firing is like, I knew someone like that. I'm making it up, but I knew somebody who told me himself, when he was a boss, he said, you're fired, boom, you're fired, boom, 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 fired, fired. Some people, they're into it. I don't know why, fire everybody. One guy is there for years and years and years and years, and he's junk. He doesn't know his job. They're always giving him new jobs because he doesn't do it right. He's out of it. And he's there forever. And one time someone went over to the boss. And he said, well, this guy's, he's even detrimental. He's not good. He said, yeah, but he's my friend. He's my cousin. We're related. Or he's my friend. So I'm not interested because I'm comfortable with him. Him and me are, when I see all my other employees, where there's a certain tension going on, but I'm the boss, they're the employees, and there's, you better behave. Boss, don't, employees, you know. When he's my old buddy. We knew each other. We were in the same class in the first 8 years of our lives. And we're old friends. I like him. He's my friend. He's staying forever. I don't care if he does a rotten job. Listen closely. The Baal B'tachon, this is my mashal. It's a mashal, Rabbi Yisai. The Baal B'tachon is mamish such a person. The Baal B'tachon does not get worried about anything because the Baal B'tachon is best friends with the Eibishter. The Baal B'tachon, like my father said, I feel like a Ben Yachid today. Yedid nefesh, mudrochem. You ever hear the Stalinist? Yedid nefesh, he's my best friend. I'm friends. Ani l'daidi v'daidi li. That's why we have a whole ani l'daidi. Why? To develop a relationship, to get palsy. How do you get friends with the Eibishter? So you're going to make it, because nobody could Mi Amar Lefanecha Badin. Who can be Zoicha to Yamed Badin? Do you have any idea what Emek Hadin, the Altav Slabotka used to speak about Emek Hadin? It's every move you make. Who can be Zoicha? Mi Yizkel Lefanecha, who? But if you're buddies, if you're best friends with the Eibishter, that's why you got to do that for Rosh Hashanah. Develop a relationship and schmooze around with him. My madrega of schmoozing with the Eibishter is very high. I'm from the biggest. I talk to the boss all the time. The only thing is, sometimes I don't have the koiches. I didn't sleep enough, I didn't this enough, and it doesn't go. So I am going to be Zoiche B'din more than anybody. Why? Because I wanted to talk to the boss, and it didn't work. So, you know what that means? From Tzaira Agra, I tell everybody, be like, pick it up. It's good stuff. I check this out. I don't just talk. I check out all my jokes. They're going to ask me to speak. I'm going to Eretz Yisrael, near Teshpeb Sukkos, and they already want me to speak. The only thing is that I told them, well, you sure you want me? Yes, we want you, Rabbi Mendel. Ken anu chatzim. I gotta practice my Lashon Kodesh, how to speak Hebrew like a mensch. You're gonna have all these Israelis listening to me. I can't deal with it. So they tell me, but you know Hebrew already. We hear you. That's why we want to hear you again. I says, yeah, but then in America, you're allowed to make mistakes and mix up the genders, the zach with the nekeva with, how do you say this? The numbers, and you get them all mixed up and mechat, and you break your teeth there and there. In America, you're allowed to do it. But I'm sitting in Bnei Brak, in Yerushalayim, where everybody, you know. Anyway, so I'm very nervous. You sure you guys want me to speak? So I'm planning to speak. But there is a problem. There's a serious problem that's going on. I heard there was a special meeting about, first of all, they know that without Tzaddik Boli here, I'm not coming. I mean, I will. It's not me. It's covered at Torah. I must have Tzaddik Boli here. It's covered at Torah. What's going on here? I don't mean me. No, I'm an unav. Tzaddik Boli here. But they all know that. They wouldn't even offer me to speak. But now there's more problems. There was a big machlokes. How many titles about me? Because last time I went, they wrote plain Tzaddik Bali here. Now, you know how much bigger I am now? So should they write Kaddish V'Norahu, or Butzina Kadisha, or Hagain, Kol Rosloi, honestly, they've got a whole machlokes. What exactly should they write? I heard they're getting dizzy from meetings. They keep calling me up every day. Hara Mendel, Ken. How about that nusach? Is that good enough? Well, I have to think. What I say, I have to think. They go berserk. I got them so nervous. They're so worried because they got to get me, me. Like a guy like me. So they're getting me to come to Israel, and of course, so that's the only problem, like how many titles. Usually I tell them, write Bechula, Harava Gain Bechula. So you play it safe, so that you got it all. Just say Bechula. It'll be okay. Anyway, I will tell you what's on my mind about going there. Believe me, if not for Novanik, I would never do it in a million years. You crazy? I'm going to go up in Israel, speak in Bnei Brak in front of I heard minimum 10,000, 50,000, I have to speak in front of these, with bigger payers than me, and bigger everything than me, and bigger this, and bigger that, and they know Hebrew, and I don't know, and they're all ahead of me, and I have to go there and speak in front of them. I'm telling you, Rabbi, I would not do it. I'm going to get my Olam Haba. I was Zoiche B'din, just thinking about it. That's why I didn't sleep all night last night. I'm joking. But Do you know what a schus I have to be? Mafke my covet. Because I know, you know what a high risk that is? You go into Bnei Brak and Yerushalayim, one day there, one day there. So, they all heard about me. Ooh. I hear from them, boy. I was just on the phone with one Israeli after another. They call me all the time. And they all know me. Adam Mendel, I heard your stuff, you know. They know me good. And you know what it is? They come, now they're going to see me. Now, who knows what they're saying about me? You know, I have an alon that's given out from, it's my alon. They say it's half of a fella. I just spoke to the guy who puts it out. It's beautiful. He puts it, oops. That was Johnny. Johnny's making trouble. Anyway, so the alon, now I got to smell from alcohol. I got to get it from my wife. What you drinking? My wife knows everything. My Rebbe Rabbi told me once about the ladies. They haben ruach hakodesh. That's what he told me. They know everything. Is it true? They all have ruach hakodesh, those ladies. I can't get away with anything. You make a wrong move, they know it. So watch yourself. Now I got to smell like alcohol. You smell like Johnny. What's that smell? Oh, well, that's Johnny. You ever hear of Johnny? Johnny Walker. So I'm walking with Johnny Walker all over the place. I just spilled him. He's all over me. Hey, Johnny, what are you doing to me? Anyway, listen to this. So, where am I up to? Where am I? No. Oh? The alone. Yeah. The alone goes all over the place. Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say. He's great, the one that puts it out. It's me. Yeah. So that alone, when they first made the alone, so that one, and there's another one. There's two alonim that has me a lot over there. One of them wrote Harabat Tzaddik. And I was Meicha. I says, you left that again. So they fixed it. The other one wrote Harav again. And I said, what do you think of? So they fixed it. They wrote again at Tzaddik. So both of them are going at Tzaddik. So that was my behest. That was my request. I want to know. It's terrible when they take you serious. You know, they do. You got to watch what you're doing. But now they're going to see me. I'm finished. And they can actually see me. And until now, I was getting away with bloody murder. They were thinking, Misa Mendel, Mlikuod. I tell you what happened. This Yerushalmi guy comes into me. He sees he was collecting, about a month ago, he was collecting on Mlikuod. And he sees I'm giving him my Bטחון weekly. He said, what's What's this? I says, it's in English. That's not for you, it's in English. Tell him he doesn't know English, you show me. So he says, yeah, but what is it? He asked me. I said, it's Amuna and Bטחון. Oh, it's a Mendel. Oh, it's a Mendel. I says, Ani Mendel, bechvod of Atzma. I'm Mendel. So they all know me. Oh, Zeh Mendel. So I better hide when I go there. They think, who knows what? Who's this Mendel? Is that Atam Mendel? It's not Mendel. So I'm telling you, when I go to Eretz Yisrael, I'm going to tell you, because some guys are going to see the gain. You say, maybe he's a tzaddik, but gain. Another guy's going to see the tzaddik, and he's going to see gain, all right, but tzaddik, no. I'm in trouble, you know. I'm going there, I'm telling you, I lost all my Averas. Just the thought of it. The machshava k'maisa, you know. I'm just thinking of it as the days of Rosh Hashanah come closer. I say, I wish I'd be afraid of the Eibishter as much as I'm afraid of the public opinion. Now, by the way, I'm going to tell you two mitzvahs that just happened. I had a husband and a wife sitting right here. This is this one. And the husband and the wife comes over to me. They said, Rabbi Mendel, this is serious stuff. Something happened to one of them. They have a daughter that Rahman al-Islam, she had a real serious nervous breakdown. A daughter. She's a 32-year-old woman. She had a horrible breakdown. And it was terrible. The husband and wife were sitting right here. And they told me about the 32-year-old daughter had a terrible nervous breakdown. I told them, watch. It's baloney. She's fine. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. Listen to this one. Now, I think it was them that I said it to. I said, at first it's going to get worse. It was them or someone else. First it's going to get worse, and then it's going to get better. And it's exactly what happened. And he called me up to tell me that's what happened. So I says, and he mentioned that, my kids said Gans Tillim 3 times, and they had a whole Machsim Lafi in the whole family. So, I thought it was my mifus. Anyway, I told him, tell all those people to take it personal, it's all their mifus. They should feel good. But I know the truth. But then I told him, I promise you, but the kid's much better. But I want him perfect. Yeah, well, there's a long way to go. No! He's going to be so good, you're going to be in shock. Watch. I promise you, 2 or 3 days later, not more, I get a message on the machine. I'm mamish in shock, just like you said. How's that one? Is that something? Another guy comes over to me. He needs to learn with words that you say. This guy needs to learn with for money. He's a yeshiva man. He doesn't have. That's his parnasi, and he doesn't have a penny. And for weeks he's going around. He needs to be paid. I says, you're getting one right away. He told me the next day. As soon as he turned around, someone went over to him and says, I want you to learn my son to have money. How do you like that one? That's something. The Mifsim. Anyway, how much longer do I have to keep speaking before I get on the questions and answers? 7 minutes. What?
7 minutes.
7 minutes? All right. All right, now let me tell you what's going on in the Parsha. Parsha's Meridik in the Welt. I want to tell you something. Now I'm going to be good and nasty. Good and nasty. I decided, Mesilas Yesharim, that sefer is totally David HaMelech. I counted David's name is there 25 times at least. Shlomo HaMelech 8 times. Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, David, Aaron Yosef, once or twice each. But it's totally dominated by David HaMelech. Now, so you want to know about David? By the way, I counted about 4 or 5 times where he said David boasted about his madrega in Simcha, in Zrizis. He talked about himself. I heard that nusser from the Mashgiach of Lakewood. He once told me about years ago I was at that madrega. He once told this to me. Do you imagine? He boasted about his madrega. He appreciated himself. David HaMelech. That's something. So he keeps saying that. That's one thing I noticed. But here comes the other thing. So the first thing he says, how close David's Rav was to Yebishter. The next thing he says, I'm telling you, he says, I'm going to hold for a second. I got to tell you this. Do you know, I'll prove to you, David's everything. We have to go after him. Be like him. He was a total Novandiga. A total Makamak, there's the whole Tanakh over there. But I want to tell you something, that he was nichshel with the Chet of Bathsheba. And he killed her husband too. And his open psukim, whatever you're going to say, there is Chival Yachid. David HaMelech, all the kings kings, Kamat, his descendants are measured. Was he like David? He wasn't as good as David. Amatzia. Rak like David. Shloimeh. He was a tzaddik, but not as good as David. On Chizkiah, he was as good as David. On Yeshua, he was as good as David. And everything's David. Can I ask you a silly question? David HaMelech was nechshol with Bathsheba. None of them did something like that. Why is David the big everything, and they're like Halabai, we're like him? That's a big horror. I'm not getting into the answer. The simple answer is he's bigger. He did tshuva, so he's bigger. That's the simple answer. Another answer is he had a big Yetzirah. He had a big Yetzirah. Doesn't count. That's enough in the Gemara, but it's a very stark horror. But now I'm going to tell you something. When David HaMelech, it says that he was Azaz Ponim. I'm going to talk in Torah. He used to get together with kings, and he also spoke about the grandiose schemes. You know what I did? I got myself a brand new castle, and I got gorgeous white horses. You know, kings. He used to schmooze around with them. David HaMelech used to schmooze around with kings. And while they schmoozed, David would say, oh yeah? Well, I have an interesting Tashvis I'd like to share with you. And he wasn't afraid to do that. I'm not ashamed of him. He faffed him on. It says in Lashon, he didn't care at all. Klal. He had zero. He faffed him on. He had midas hashtamas. And what does it say he spoke about? Divrei Musa v'Torah. Abdiyuk. Why does Musa come before Torah? No. I want to challenge all the whole yeshiva world, the chassid of all of them. Why does it? The Vilna Gaon said every word. 1 second. Every word in Masel's Yesharim is it could be medayik. The Gra said he'd walk half the world to see the Masel's Yesharim. And he said every word, the first 10 prakim or so, every word has a reason. This is the second, third parak. He said, Musa v'Torah. Did you hear that one? First come Musa. I didn't like that diak. Oh boy. What did Rabbi Miller tell me? I couldn't sleep at night as a bacha. Take a chavis havavas in your bed and you'll sleep. I took a Gemara Makis, and 2 weeks later I called him up. I'm still not sleeping. So he said, I said, what's the difference? He said, the Yetzirah wants more. You shouldn't learn Chavis Havavas than you should learn a Gemara. So I backed up the whole. Now I'm going to tell you another zach. David HaMelech was out. This is not, be careful what I'm saying. You're allowed to learn. Before I continue, mutalach. You're allowed to learn Gemara Taisus. I highly recommend it. It's not going to kill you. But just in case you slide into the Musa mode, don't feel so guilty. I got a big backing for you, not stam. You know that David was out against Daimi. He cursed the two biggest Talmidei Chachamim in the world. One of them had Mamish Ruach HaKodesh, Achi Seifel. He was a murderer. He was David HaMelech's Chavrusi. He was his Rebbe. He was the rich on Edwin. The biggest guns. He cursed them both. I don't want them to live half their lives. One was nifta at 34, one at 33. Boom. I want them dead. And David said, what? Daig. The Gemara in Chaylik speaks about Daig. What's wrong with Daig? He's such a big Talmid Chacham. David is talking to David. David said, I want him dead. David said, all right, I'll kill him. But I want him to get Olam Haba. Eibishter, no Olam Haba. And Eibishter loved his Torah. He had beautiful Chedushim. He loved his Torah. David said, I don't want him in Olam Haba either. So the Gemara says, how about if Saisav Davis Bekeva? At least people should learn his Torahs. And then he'll get a schus. David said, nothing. He was out to get him. He was the biggest Ben Torah in the world. And David was out to get him. You know why? Because David said, first Musa and then Torah. Now, by the way, in the Novhardok, they say, he was a God's find about Musa. What did he do wrong? He didn't learn the right sefer. He had past problems, and he was busy working on Kedusha all day. You don't have that issue, Bubby. Chas v'shalom. We have to have respect. But he didn't. That's what they say. He was in the wrong because, you know, when he lost his Olam Haba, he was in the Mishkan. And what was he doing in the Mishkan? What? His Vaidadus. All right, now I'm going to tell you another zach. Why wasn't Shlomo as big as David? Here comes another dig. By the way, Shlomo was the biggest Baal Musa in the world. You want to see what it says in Mishlei? It starts off with Mishlei Shlomo ben David, Ladas Chachma Musa. All the Shema bin Musara Vicha, Hachzek ba Musa al Teref, all the psukim that say you got to learn Musa, Shlomo Melech. It's all the Mishlei. So what's wrong with him? Why wasn't he as good as David? Because the first pasuk says, Das Chachma Musa. First King Chachma, then King Musa. So that first pasuk, I don't know. Believe me, I don't know anything. But it's a dick. Anyway, it's time to move. What are we doing now? Thank you so much for taking all these questions. It really gives so much chizuk to thousands of... I thought there was hundreds of thousands. What's this is no good. Rabbi, only thousands? This is terrible. Oh, all right. Oh, what I have to go through. Oh, Rabbi Sai, it's not easy. I have a hard life. Only thousands they wrote. I'm joking. You always have to say I'm joking. They're going to believe you. Yeah, they're going to believe you. You people today are like, I told you the guy I had on the phone. It's a true story. I made it. He was super serious. He was the one that I said, I don't like your bedikas comments. He was too serious. And he says, how'd you guess? It takes me 8 hours. I says, no wonder there's so much problems going on. It doesn't mean nobody should do it, but it's not always advisable. In 8 hours, you're a nervous wreck, and now you killed your wife and your kids because you're such a tzaddik. Okay, it's not always bad, but anyway. Then I told him I made a joke, and he didn't laugh. And I said, by the way, I made a joke. You're supposed to laugh. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. He started laughing. So I saw the matzah. You know, if you need to be told it's time to laugh, because I made a joke, it's time. The avodas hazman of Elul is learn to joke around. Don't be so serious. Okay, who said this? One of the 4 Rosh Yeshivas. I just heard it. Said, B'Shem Rabbaran, I believe. In Elul, you have to be b'simcha. And they went berserk. What? Elul. In Elul, you have to be b'simcha. Only Mendel doesn't hold from that. Because, see them, they went wild when they heard that. The Litvakis really believe in that stuff. We didn't know they believe in Simcha anyway. But I'm the only guy who doesn't believe in it. I say, be atzvistik. That's my mandareg. I'm trying to be b'simcha. That's enough. I once had a murder shot. Rebellion may have blocked. Someone saw him in his later years. He was wheeled out in the hospital. He was holding, and he made a weak smile. That weak smile was worth more than all the smiles he ever had in his life, because he tried to smile and went hard. So all the guys with the weak smiles, that it's not, they're going to get 1,000 times more schar because there's so much pain trying to smile. You know, it's a mitzvah, be b'simcha. Anyway, next. Oh wait, let's finish this. May Rebbe have koach to continue for many decades to come gesundheit. Amen. This is nice. Who gave me all these brachas? Okay, that's good. I believe in every one of them. Get as many. I want to read. Whoever's listening to me, I'm giving you all a ksiva v'chsima tova, and I'm dead serious. It's going to work. And I want. I'm speaking to the guys inside the machine. You guys for sure are going to have. You're sitting here. You see the Rebbe in person. But those guys never, who aren't zoiche to see me, So, like giving them a bracha, they need a double bracha because you guys are here, you're okay, it's fine. But I'd like to get from you too. Everybody, give me brachas, no? Big time, the best year ever had. And all the people who call me should have yeshuas. I have a very serious case. I don't want to say it in public. I can get everybody depressed. Somebody who's going through Gehenna beyond. And it's a difficult one. Whoever calls me up, when I'm finished with them, I say from 1 to 10, how much better do you feel? Usually it's 7, 8, 9, or 10. This one, 2. And 5 minutes later, it got worse. This one's a real, you don't get nowhere. This person is, so it's a challenge for me. So give a bracha from now on. With the Eibishter, he made Kriyas Yamsuf. We're going to turn over world this year. High Madrigas of Bטחון in all areas. Big time. Amen.